So we're really excited because obviously with the women's business, we try to get a balance of speakers that are either A, providing us some educational information to help us grow our business, and providing new tools and tricks and trades, but we're also looking for people to inspire us and people to help sort of spin a different perspective and help us with coping skills with all of the many things that we do in juggling being business owners and women. So I think Jean's going to fit that one absolutely perfect, and I'm super excited. We're all super excited to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah. I love, when I came in here earlier today, I was like, wow, the energy is really great in this room, so it makes it so much easier for me to bring joy. So I actually been called Joy quite a bit, and in sign language, everybody has a name sign based on their personality, and my name sign has been changed from the boring J to Joyful Jean. So I love that, yes. I am a speaker and a coach. I'm a certified coach, and I have been working with my clients for the last 5 years to help them find more joy in their life. So how many of you, when you woke up this morning, said to yourself, I have a joyful life? How many of you feel like you need more joy? So if life was a 10 out of 10, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm happy. I'm like, what's this, I'm happy? What is that? So what is a 10 out of 10? What does a 15 out of 15 look like for joy? So what I talk about in around town, I talk about the 5 elements of joy. And I know Paula has seen me speak a couple of times. She's one of my awesome friends. I like to plant the audience with a few people, So does anybody want to take a guess on what the 5 elements of joy might be? What's that? Gratitude. Well, that's actually a very important component of being joyful. One of the 5 elements of joy, my favorite, laughing. So I teach laughter yoga. Laughter yoga. So this is not about you wearing like the Lululemon see-through pants. No, because that's pretty hilarious, right? Especially if you're wearing that thong that you shouldn't be wearing. So laughter yoga is about intentional laughter, and that's what I teach. Everything is about intention. We wake up in the morning and whatever we say to ourselves is the intention that we set for the rest of the day. Laughter yoga is an entire hour of laughing for no reason. I totally want you in my class. That's so easy, right? So I've been talking about laughter yoga for the past year. Laughter yoga is really great for your blood pressure. Anybody got high blood pressure in here? A couple people. It lowers your blood pressure. It combats depression. It releases all of these amazing feel-good hormones. Ladies, you can fake it and still get benefits. When's the last time that you faked something and it was really good? So, and here's the important part about laughter, because we don't think about it too often. 10 minutes of continuous laughter is the equivalent of 30 minutes on the treadmill. Yes. So, when's the last time you really enjoyed being on that treadmill? It's like that sad face, like, oh, I shouldn't have had that dessert, I'm gonna be on the treadmill. So, pop in something that really cracks you up and stay focused on that laughter. So we talked about it boosts your endorphins. It's really great to help you sleep. The air in your lungs is actually 3 weeks stale. Unless you are doing regular cardio, I am not. Unless you are doing regular cardio, 75% of the air in your lungs is stale air. So laughter, we're actually going to do a little bit of laughter yoga. Laughter is about laughing from here, and things are going to jiggle, ladies. But you don't need a sense of humor. You don't need a sense of humor, because we all know that person that does not have that sense of humor. This laughter yoga would be a great prescription for them. You don't need comedy. You don't need jokes. You just have to have that intent. So we're going to start this off with a little bit of laughter yoga. I want you all to get out of your seats. And you're going to grab your imaginary toothbrush. I know. Trust me, I have had people walk out of class because they think it's weird. It is weird. I will tell you, it is so weird. And I've had men come to the class and they say, you know what, that was so weird, I'm so glad I stayed. Because this is about being vulnerable, and the fact that you already know each other, or most of you know each other, that means that you feel safe, that you can do weird things with each other involving imaginary toothbrushes. So, laughter toothbrush. And here's what we're going to do. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. We're going to brush our teeth, and we're going to laugh. The important thing is to make eye contact with the person across from you, because that makes it authentic. All right. Now, was that really weird? Hands up if you thought that was so weird. That was really weird, right? Guess what? We are going to get in the shower together now. Oh yeah. So we're going to grab our laughter loofah, put a little bit of, creamy, sparkly stuff and we're going to like rub it all over ourselves. We are going to laugh. It's the best loofah ever. And it can be like, hee 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 hee. It can be, do you know what it is? It really, what I'm trying to get across to you, breathe deeply. Breathe deeply, let that air out. We haven't had that much garlic. I think you're safe. And so we're going to laugh, right? All right, you may sit down now. You may sit down now. What did you notice about just doing a couple of seconds of laughter in a group? Have you noticed that you feel a little bit buzzy? Yeah? Can you imagine doing an hour of laughter? Now, unless you're with toddlers who have great attitudes, which is not always the case, unless you're with toddlers with great attitudes, maybe you're not laughing enough. Are there people in this room, it's safe to put up your hand, that are not getting enough joy and laughter in their life right now? You're all fantastically happy? No. It was just too much work to put up your hand. I gotcha. So laughter is actually one of the tools that I use with my clients to help them combat their stress. The fellow that I was telling you that came to my class who said it was really weird, his wife tells me that when he's in the kitchen chopping vegetables after work, he's laughing. Because he's so angry from his job, he'll just be like, But the idea is that you are actually releasing all of that pent-up energy and emotion. When you are stuck at a stoplight, guess what? You're still stuck at that stoplight. You might as well just sit there and laugh. When somebody flips you the bird, well, I don't think you want to be that driver. But when somebody cuts you off in traffic, you might as well just laugh. When you get that Visa bill, when you did some damage, you don't really want to show it to your significant other, you might as well open up that bill, look at that bottom balance and go, right? It is a fantastic tool because what it's signaling to your brain, hey, this person might actually be happy. This person might actually be experiencing some positive emotions. So laughter is one of the 5 elements of joy. I love laughter. I love the laughter lines that come with it. And the other thing is, everything that you experienced in this room, laughing just for even a few seconds, that was called a joy cocktail. The energy in this room has completely shifted. I can feel it. It's just like zzz. Could be the wine, but it's probably the laughter. Shout out to Kathy there. Thank you, Kathy. So one of the other elements of joy is dancing. I don't care if you twerk or you tango. Dancing is about engaging in that cardio activity. You notice that, so laughing is cardio activity, dancing is cardio activity. This is saying to us, we probably need to get our blood pumping a lot more to change our attitude. Anybody love to dance in the room? Is anybody doing it weekly?
I do it daily.
Do it daily? Are you in the kitchen? Twerk into the dishes?
Dancing, yes, daily.
Okay, yeah.
So definitely dancing every day.
That is awesome. And singing is one of the elements of joy. Again, that is about using your lungs to express out that stale air. And isn't it fun? Car singers, are you car singers? Do you like to rock out to the AC/DC? You're on the highway? And so how great is that to be able to reduce your stress by engaging in that? There are so many people that are not thinking proactively about, oh, how am I going to get my joy today? I call it vitamin J. You know, we're taking vitamin B plus or B12 and calcium supplements and all the things you're supposed to be taking when you're over 30. Where is our vitamin J? So I actually have a little alarm on my phone. I called it the random dance alarm. My husband we were away in Cuba for a vacation. Sometimes after the beach, you want to just go and take a nap before dinner, but you don't want to miss dinner. At those all-inclusives, they will shut down. You will starve. There are no rice and beans for you until tomorrow. So I turned this alarm on my phone, and I called it the random dance alarm, because we kept it when we came back, because it would be like, chicka, 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 chicka. So I would change the time on the alarm, and it would go off in the middle of Starbucks, in the middle of business meetings, and I would say, I'm sorry, it's the random dance alarm. It became this ridiculous thing that everybody wanted to do. Because what it was an intentional moment in my day. It's like, oh, that's my joy moment. That's my joy moment. So do you have a moment in your day that is joyful? How many of you like to meditate?
I should.
Okay, so, because I recognize that, just a quick show of hands, how many of you are moms? Okay. And how many of you are taking care of older parents, maybe? Maybe taking care of an older child who's married to you? Yeah. And then you're running your own business at the same time. You have dogs. I always say, no pets, no plants, no children. If it can't feed itself, it can't live in my house. I've been married for 18 years. He knows how to work the microwave now, so he can stay. But we are so busy as moms, as daughters, as, maintaining friendships. Holy smokes, that's not a lot of work. Not to mention you're all either self-employed, or you are running side businesses, or you're growing your business, or you believe in personal development. There's all of these different things that you're trying to cram into your life. So what part of your day is that quiet part that's just for you? Do you have quiet in your day? So I'm seeing a couple of heads nodding. How many of you are not getting quiet in your day for you? That's just for you. Yeah. So we are constantly, as women, being in service of other people, and we are, I've got to run the kids off to soccer, and then I've got to take them to swimming lessons, and then I got to go to the grocery store, and I got to go to this other grocery store because this is on sale, or I got to go home and I got a meal plan, plus I got to fit in my job, plus I got to fit in my cleaning. Man, I don't know how we do it. I'm working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I'm exhausted. Where's my joy? My joy is from launching water balloons in public places. and hugging people. Professional hugger, that's actually one of the elements of joy. I added it in there because there were only 4, and I'm thinking 4 is not enough. So we've got laughing, dancing, singing, playing. When is the last time you played doing something that made you smile? Now, I'm also a stand-up comedian, and I have a whole routine that's like R-rated. Last year, I was in the vagina monologues. I'm pretty sure we all have one in here, so I can say that word. But, you know, where is that sense of play? When's the last time you made macaroni art? Or finger painted? Or baked? Or gardened? Wouldn't you want to be that person at the end of their, you know, before they put us in that big box in the end, that said, wow, I had a really fantastic life because I made me a priority. I made me and the 4 elements, the 5 elements, all the elements of joy a priority in my life. I wasn't so focused on everybody else's needs because it's kind of like being in an airplane. Have you noticed that they say to traveling parents, please make sure that you put on your own mask first? How can you help the other people in your life, whether it be friends, family, or coworkers, if you can't help yourself? If you are so oxygen deprived, so joy deprived, so life deprived, then we're not serving our families. So how do we get to that point? How do we create that intention? Well, gratitude is a big part of that. Are we regular gratitude practicers in the room? Who's a daily gratitude journaler? So how long have you been doing gratitude journaling?
Well, I don't write it. I just speak it.
Okay.
Yeah, and probably about 3 years.
3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Were you one of them? And how long have you been doing it?
Last year.
And so what have you noticed is different about life since you started doing your gratitude?
I just appreciate the small things a lot better, and the small things are now bigger things.
Yeah. Well, I'll share with you, I've been writing out our gratitude. I would start a journal, and then about mid-May I would get bored and I would drop it. And so I have several gratitude journals, which probably go to mid-May, and then I stopped. And 2 years ago, I know this is the year, I'm going to do it all the way through. And I was living in Texas at the time. So my husband and I were living in Texas, and I was not allowed to work. For 2 years, I was semi-retired at 33. Wow, really glamorous. No. If you don't know what you love, or you're not able to do what you love, it really sucks to be semi-retired at 33. So I baked cookies, pies, and cakes, and I would bring them to his coworkers, and they loved that. And little did I know, when we were living in Dallas, that he was being slowly poisoned by a doctor. They had given him the wrong prescription, and it had built up in his system to the point where he just up and walked off his job, and he was being snarky. He was being a real bleep bleep. So I thought, I called up my mother-in-law and I said to her, 16 years, it's been a good run. I think I'll take my half and go. And I'm glad I didn't, because shortly thereafter, he walked off his job, and there we were in Texas, no job, no jobs anywhere. What are we going to do? We took a moment to reflect on our gratitude. And I, in that moment, was thankful for the voice that spoke to me very loudly 3 times. Check the medical records. I'm tired. I hadn't slept in 4 days. Check them. I'm really tired. Check them. Every day, I have been thankful for my husband being alive. When we came back, we had nothing. We lost tons of money on the move, $7,000 to move from Texas, came to Barrie. We hadn't lived here in 20 years. He knew one person from grade 5 and his parents. I think she sat in front of him and maybe he copied off her homework or something, I don't know. And I thought, this is an opportunity. I'm willing to throw everything away. This is our opportunity to start fresh. So what went in that gratitude journal? Sitting on the porch, drinking tea, visiting with mom and dad, playing, what's that game where you throw the coins in? Remoli. Yeah, I love Ramoli. They don't play that out west, by the way. It's strictly in Ontario. It's like an Eastern Central Canada thing. Those were the things that I was thankful for. And it was that experience that made me realize I should be doing what I love. So when I see other people and they are living a life that they are not passionate about, and they're stuck and they feel burdened by all of those things, I say to them, you can make some little sacrifice that won't feel like a sacrifice because you're making your life more passionate. I'm living in a tiny little apartment while I help launch my husband's software company. But he gets up every morning and he's so in love with what he does. I'm falling more in love with him because he is so in love with what he does. I do what I love. I'm so in love with what I do. That's what I want for each and every one of you, is to create that intention. In that morning, am I doing what I love to do? I hope that each of you is doing what you love to do. Is there room for improvement for more love in your life? Yeah. Because, when I ask the question, do people like their jobs? It's kind of an awkward question. Nobody really wants to put up their hand. Happened last week. I saw it. I'm like, all right, don't ask that question again. But there's always room for more improvement. Do you want more love in your relationships? Do you want more love in your job, with your families? It's about creating that intention. So when I work with my clients, I say to them, when you get up in the morning, what was the affirmation that you told yourself? What was that intention that you set for your day? Because what happens when we get up in the morning? The first thing we hear in our little brain, didn't get enough sleep. Oh, I gotta go. Hurry up. Or how many times do you hit that snooze button? Oh, that snooze button. That snooze button. I hit her a lot today. The first thing we tell ourselves is we didn't have enough. That is what sets us for the rest of the day. So what if instead, when we woke up tomorrow morning, we said, I'm going to have an amazing day today? And that's when I asked you earlier, do you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to have a joyful day? Or I feel joyful. So imagine what it would look like if you got up and set that intention. I'm going to look for more smiles today. And you went out to the store, and imagine if you started smiling, other people will smile back. Now, there are creepy smilers out there. I was walking down the streets of Vancouver, and I smile at everybody, which does not go over well in Texas. Neither does purple hair. And I smiled, and I got this back. It was very jarring. But you know what? That person smiled at me. So what if you went out looking, that was your mission for the day, I'm going to look for more smiles. There is a really great book, I think it's called EM Squared or something like that, and it says, listen, if you set the intention that I'm going to look for beige cars today, beige sedans, you're going to see way more beige sedans today than you've seen in ages. Why? Because you're looking for it. So if you woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to look for purple butterflies, you would be surprised where those purple butterflies will show up in your life for the next 48 hours. It's about retraining your brain. So tomorrow morning, what might be an affirmation that you want to set for yourself? What's that?
I'm going to have a joyful day.
You're going to have a joyful day. So what would a joyful day look like for you?
Just get organized and be positive about everything.
And when we wake up and we go, I don't want to wake up. And why is it with that voice too? You can just hear yourself going, ugh. That is the voice that carries with you the whole rest of the day. The word resonance, the word resonance, really people think about tuning forks. So does everybody know what a tuning fork is? It's an instrument that they use to actually keep singers on pitch, and it tunes pianos and things like that. When you hit a tuning fork, it makes one of two sounds. It makes a sound of thunk, when things are out of tune, or it makes a sound of that is actually resonance. When you meet somebody and you really like them, do you hear the thunk or do you hear the ha? But you have probably met somebody or been in a situation where you hear that thunk. Why don't we listen to that thunk? When you see thunk, you should think. Repeat it with me, ladies. When you hear thunk, you should think. And yet we ignore ourselves time and time again. We are the greatest gift that we have. This whole body thing, this whole energy thing, about setting your intention, it's about being conscious of your emotions, your intentions, your emotions, and your actions. So if you are in alignment, I know it sounds pretty fluffy woo-woo, but so is laughter yoga. But I'm still vibrating from laughter yoga. The energy in this room is still elevated because you all engaged in play. So when you thunk, you should think. So where is it in your life that you are thunking? And if you think about life as this, one of the tools that they use in coaching is they use this wheel of life. Like pretty much every coach will be like, here's the wheel of life on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel about your life? And then you'll put your numbers down and you'll say, I don't know, maybe my love life's a 3 out of 10. Maybe my physical fitness is an 8 out of 10. Whatever it is, and you'll start and you'll do what do they call it? Connect the dots. And you look at that wheel, and most of us are going to have that wonky wheel. You know what else goes thunk? Trying to ride a bicycle that has a wonky wheel. That is a lack of balance in our life. So I talk about the 5 elements of joy: laughing, dancing, singing, playing, and hugging. Come. I'm a forceful hugger. Thank you. So when I got to Barrie, we left Texas, and I got to Barrie, and I thought, Barrie needs more hugs. Have you been to Barrie? Barrie needs more hugs. So I decided that at Kempenfest, their gigantic, huge festival, that I was going to recruit. I had 14 people with signs that said free hugs. Now, the free hug movement has been around since 2003, and it started with this guy in Australia, and he had a sign that said free hug. And he just stood there. And people would walk past, and they would say, okay. And they would walk past him. And then something beautiful happened. He would make eye contact with people, and there were people who really needed a hug. So they would come up and they would hug him. And this has been going on for 11 years now. And I've actually done it a couple of times on my own. On Valentine's Day in 2009, the week after I lost my grandfather and my husband lost his job, free hugs. Free hugs. Vancouver Art Gallery, middle of downtown, streaming traffic, crazy. And I got hugs. And it was beautiful because hugs are not about I give you a hug. It's not about getting a hug. It's we shared. We shared a human connection. So I came to Barrie. I thought, Barrie needs more hugs. 14 amazing volunteers. And for 4 hours at Kempenfest, free hugs, gluten-free hugs, fat-free hugs. It's not dinner, a date, or a divorce. It's just a hug. And I would say that we hugged anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people in 4 hours. We made a lot of people laugh. We made one woman very angry. She stormed right past us, and her husband said, she really needs a hug. She whipped around, and she grabbed him, and she stormed off. And I thought, it is true. She does need a hug. There was a woman who had a hug in 10 years. In 10 years. We take these things for granted. And it's about human connection. It's about making eye contact with people. It's about setting a date. Well, yeah, let's go hang out. You want to be new BFFs? She is jockey. That's good stuff. Very comfortable. It's about that human connection. Are you connecting with your family? Maybe you are. Maybe you have the most amazing family life. You're so focused on your businesses, and I want each of you to succeed in your business, but the first person that needs to be served is you. Think about awesome customer service. You want to keep that client coming back. You want to keep that client happy. When's the last time you thought about, where's my customer service for me? The fact that you all come here once a month and you set that intention, I'm going to come and be with my community, with the sisters who support me in my business and my vision, that says a lot already. That you made the arrangements for your childcare, that says a lot. That you are telling your family, I value myself, that says a lot. So what I'm asking is for you to each step up and experience more of that for yourself. So what would that look like? What might that look like for you?
More for myself, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just coming to women's business, hanging out with other women. I spend a lot of time talking to toddlers, which is awesome, and I do laugh a lot and we play a lot, and it's just been such a discovery again to have fun doing things that I haven't had fun doing since I was a kid, and now I'm doing it again. So, but basically more time for myself would be cool, and being around women is awesome.
I love Friday nights because my husband has a regular thing that he does on the internet. It's not dirty, I swear. And so he goes and he plays some online game with a bunch of guys. That's great. I go and I sit in the tub and I have like a 2-hour soak. Again, no pets, no plants, no children. Makes my life a lot easier that way. But it's about creating that intention. That is my time for me. I try not to take my phone in there because then I'm on Facebook and then it's no longer about me. I find it challenging to sit there in silence and meditate. Man, that's work. Gratitude is work. Gratitude is work. For those of you that have families, what I recommend to the clients that have families is that you get a really cool jar and encourage each family member to write one nice thing that happened to them that day. Get your children in the habit of gratitude. We already have so much in our life. You know, they probably have a phone, an iPad, an iPod, really nice trainers, and all of these things. They have a roof over their head. But it's never too early to start having them think, oh, you know what? Sally was really nice to me at school today. Or Mrs. Johnson gave me a gold sticker. It's about retraining your brain for more gratitude and joy. So one of the things that I've experienced in the last 4 months, the more I talk about joy, the more I stuff my anger. I was like, wow, everybody in Barrie, oh, there goes the joy girl. Oh, I've seen you on TV. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my anger? I'm really angry sometimes. And it was eating away at me. It was that thunk that I was not listening to. No, I was angry. I was starting to get angry with my best friend. Little things would irritate me. They would get under my skin. And somebody said to me, anger is not the only emotion. And I thought, oh, I've been teaching Joy Boot Camp and I haven't talked about anger. Yeah, anger. Oh, I love anger. It is beautiful. And just because we want more joy doesn't mean we should stuff the anger. Who never gets angry in here? Yes. Actually, what we're trying to organize in Barrie is an event called Anger Wine 01. Wine, yes. So we drink wine and then we break things. That's an event you might want to consider. And then follow that up by laughter, because it's an emotion that we need to release. Everything is an emotion that we need to release. Our stress, our anxiety. There's so many of us that are on anxiety pills or depression pills, and I'm not saying those things don't exist, but there are some really great tools that don't cost anything, like going outside and going for a walk. Like putting on your headphones, dancing like Elaine. Who cares if somebody's watching? I think we turn 12 years old and then we judge ourselves. I have a fantastic 10-year-old, she's now 11. She comes to my laughter yoga classes, and she's that beautiful age where she doesn't judge herself. I think she's perfect just the way that she is. Somebody else might look at her and say other things. She is so beautiful in who she is in her heart. Where do we turn that off? And where do we get so mean with ourselves? So I'm giving you permission, in case you needed it, to tap into that inner 10-year-old, or maybe you want to be your inner 5-year-olds and make macaroni art and finger paint. But come back to that place of, Man, life is so good. What if you woke up tomorrow with the intention, today I'm going to be 5? Then you could have so much fun with the photocopier. What would a 5-year-old do? What would a 5-year-old do? What would a 5-year-old eat for breakfast? Maybe Captain Crunch. Let yourself eat Captain Crunch. Kale smoothie. Who needs a kale smoothie? You know, mac and cheese. I want mac and cheese. What would it be like to change your perspective just for one day and engage in that play? Yeah, you're like, oh, what would my inner 5-year-old like to do? Because an inner 5-year-old has no responsibilities whatsoever. They don't have a mortgage, they don't have car insurance, they don't have medical issues. They're just free. They live, they are the embodiment of joy. They are the embodiment of joy. So at the end of that day, you can write down your list of gratitude. I'm thankful for Captain Crunch. I'm thankful for ice cream for breakfast. Whatever. What are you going to do to engage in joy? So here are my little tips. Write it down in the calendar, make a date for you. Number 1, make a date for you. Not a date night with your spouse, not a date night with your kids, but a date night for you. And if it means going to the movies or taking a walk, it's you. Do not break that appointment. You cannot service the other people in your life without servicing yourself first. And everybody says to me, but isn't that selfish? Self first is not selfish. Oxygen mask, we have to put that on ourselves first. So who wants to do a little bit more laughter yoga and then we'll wrap up? Yeah? Some laughter, up we go. I think we should go on an imaginary trip. I have been dying to go to Italy because I feel like inside, oh, Italy, yes. So when we fly Imaginary Laughter Yoga Airlines, we always fly first class, there's no jet lag, right? So we are going to stomp grapes and laugh. And I'm going to stay right here, but I want you guys to circulate around the room, look at each other, and just give yourself a good laugh. And I want to hear the energy in this room go crazy. Right now. So I just want to say, tomorrow morning, set your intention. Set your intention and notice what shows up in your day tomorrow. Oh my God, I am going to be, for those of you that want to follow my Facebook page, I am committing to be my inner 5-year-old all day tomorrow. I think I might even get like little pigtails or something. And I don't care. I don't care what other people think, because the people that make those faces, they're not happy people. Those people who judge you when you're in the car, they're not happy people. So rock on with your joy. The 5 elements, pick any one of them. At least 5 minutes of one of the 5 elements of joy. So that is my parting gift to you. Thank you very much. If you would like to know more, thank you. I did bring, there's a little handout over there. It's the purple sheet. This is a gift that I created for the world. It's called the Daily Joy Regimen because it's for Joy Boot Camp. Drop and give me 5 gratitude. But it's a tool. It's a tool about mindfulness. It's a tool about what was your intention? Am I listening to my body? Am I listening for that thunk? If I'm thunking, I gotta be thinking. Where's my joy? Where's my gratitude? Thank you very much. You've been a fantastic group. Thank you.
That was fun.